Crossover Breakers hype train continues on through. Make sure you guys smash the love and crap out of that subscribe button so we can talk about Psychic Processor. I still cannot believe, to this day, that quarter-century Psychic Processors have actually gone up to, 4 or 5 listings on TCG Player as of filming this, which... yeah. So what in the world has inspired this whole, thing with this? Well, you can banish it from your field that you control. As well as summon up to 2 machine, psychic, and or cyburst monsters from your hand. They can attack directly this turn. I don't give a crap about that. During a standby phase of the next turn, if this card is banished, you add this banished card back to your hand. Yeah. That's something. It is a psychic monster, so you could technically play Emergency Teleport in the deck to, try to beam this on out to give you an extender. But that also means that, I have to open up multiple Malice monsters for this to happen. And a lot of the builds I'm seeing are only playing 8 Malice monsters. So I don't see a point to this card. Honestly, this is one of those times that you look at a card and you're like, is it actually truly really worth it? Now, if we get more main deck Malice monsters and you bump that number up from, the 8 to maybe 12, maximize on all of them, then maybe there is something to the Psychic Processor thing. Maybe, but you have to get to that point of having those resources to expand out. You have to give the deck more main deck options, or else it's not worth it. There is no way. That's why I said this is an entirety of a hype train for this. But hey, you know what? People look at this and that's fine. They can have all of the fun that they want to with Psychic Processor. Dot Scraper. Now this is the real winner here. I've seen every single list underneath the sun out here that is playing Dot Scraper, and we have looked at, your Starfoil. I know somebody's gonna be like, Robbie said buy out a Starfoil. No, I didn't. I said Starfoil is probably, you have your argument. Do you want the ultra rare from, Ghost from the Past 2? Or do you want a Starfoil? And if this has been any indicator of anything we've seen in the past, suddenly the stupid Starfoil, Shatterfoil, whatever BS, off print, side set, star pack, insert looking thing has gone up in value because people are like, oh yeah, that's highest rarity to me. I'd rather have the common, less chance to draw, whatever physical mentality is going into your head. Reality of the situation here, though, is every single frickin' list I have seen out here for the Malice deck, or is it Malice? Malice. We're still calling it Malice. Every single deck we've seen out here for Malice so far has been playing Dot Scraper. So don't rush out and buy 30 copies. No, you only need 1. All right, or maybe 2 to 3 if you're able to kind of toss these up in a nice lump sum and get a couple in bulk. This card's not gonna break $1, $2, unless it's for the Shatterfoil and suddenly, oh my gosh, max rarity Malice. Yeah. I already know a couple people that are going to rush out and get that, and they're going to wonder why their paychecks are going to look very, very, very cheap for the next couple. Where'd all my money go? Oh, well, maybe because you were like, max rarity Malice. What I always wanted in my collection. Older rank 4s. The Rizzoli deck. This has been kind of cool to see. I've seen some very cool Rizzolists over the past little weekend here. And some of those lists, I'm seeing Exo Sisters tossed in here. I'm seeing, the Battling Boxer rank 4s showing up in some of these lists. What was it? Star Cestus. The 104 was being, a lot of these are being used because they are playing the spell card that you reveal, 104, and then go, it's 104, it's one of the ones that you can use. But you've also had things like Diamond Dire Wolf going up in price. Any good rank 4 that you could think of to play in this deck, you can do so. And I like that. I like that a lot. I like that, granted, a lot of us looked at this and we're like, oh boy, like we're bringing rank 4s back. Rank 4s were one of the coolest toolboxes that got power crept out of the game. Granted, it's been a good couple of years since rank 4s have been crazy good, minus Exosister. But you got to think about it like this. If you are able to use those toolbox options and you're able to, breathe light into these niche utility options out here, for example, good old Ancient Utopia, if you're able to use things like that, then do so. That's why we love this game, is because Konami can make a deck and all of these old cool cards that you have nostalgia with suddenly can have play again. You're able to have fun with these old cards, and suddenly it's a lot more exciting. And I love to see that. Like, that's exactly what I want to see. Outside of that, nothing really too crazy to think about, but I'll take it. Varudus, the final bringer of the end of time. So minus voiceless voice, which you've already talked about, which is a primary thing that you probably want to be looking at out here if you're looking at the Ryuji deck. I think Varudus, I actually saw a Ryuji deck playing triple Varudus, but that's the supplemental, where we have to play draw cards like Pot of Extravagance in the deck, or maybe some specific filtering options to kind of get you to where you want to be at the end of it. But that's just that. Varudus is the thing that you need to have, because it's going to be such an essential end piece to all of these boards. And I think that's important, especially Varuduses they're not expensive either. And granted, Ryuji doesn't come out until December. I just love the fact that this Duelist pack is making such a splash on the meta. Like, we don't even have all the support yet, and Konami has definitely learned their lesson about, making these sets feel relevant. There have been so many times where you just throw a splash into the river and you're like, oh, it didn't ripple and make a wave. Nah, we're doing things right now, and that's what Konami needs to be appropriately and understanding. You got to power creep where you have to. Not every set has to be power creep, but we're getting places. That's for sure. Outside of that, Varudus is probably, that and Voiceless Voice are the only real two things that, if you're looking at the Ryuji stuff to kind of get ahead of the curve here, just to make sure, hey, I can get ahead here and we can do something. But that's your deck build pack in a nutshell. And I like that. The last thing I'll talk about here has been Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier has caused quite a nice little stir in the community that is our dear friends over at the Hero Group. Liquid Soldier is, I guess, been excommunicated from the deck after all of the recent Evil Hero support. And all the hive mind of hero players are like, we gotta cut something. This deck, we cannot have it maintaining. You gotta give room somewhere. And I can understand that. So Liquid Soldier has been the card that they have chosen to excommunicado straight on out of the deck. And that's fine. Its price has been slightly affected by this. It's not like Liquid Soldier is a crazy expensive card, but if you're wondering why has there been like a recent fluctuation on the Liquid Soldier side of things, well, it's because suddenly the Hero Group looked at the card and they're like, punt it, get rid of it. It's gone. It's a worthless card, and there is no point to pushing for this. Understandable. Have a nice day. Innovations come, tech choices change, or they stay the same. I feel like most days they tend to stay the same out here. But alas, there's that. The Hero Group. Very interesting to see the innovations in the discourse. So, those are your current tech trends, innovations, things to pick up. You love to see it. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'm tired. There's so much happening in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's nuts. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.